Hello there, wonderful internet, and you superb creatures of the beyond that you love art. Of course, you love art. Why else would you be here? Well, aside from the cookies and the dark side. so, I'll make a small update today about this beautiful vector art that we're working on. And I've tested with a few elements, I've played around. I'm not entirely sure where it's going and how it's looking, but I think it looks better than last time. So I thought that this corner over here was kind of empty and it needed a bit of balance because this tree is our anchor in the foreground, but in the background we can't just keep the mountain. The mountain is nice and all, but it's still an intermediary kind of element. So I needed to find a way to glue them a little. I don't know if that makes sense because the sky was too, well, not bland, but simplified. And I thought maybe I should come with a cloud. I'm still working on the cloud idea because, as you can see, there is a little thing over here that comes over the mountain. And I'm still debating how to do this. The way I did this was like initially I put some circles, then I combined them, and then I thought maybe I could keep the circle-ish edges and I'll try to make them, like on the front it's like for puffy and I want to give this impression that the light is beating them hard. I'm still wondering what to do about this side because the contrast is quite drastic between this aquamarine and this gradient behind. So yeah, I'm still debating what to do. I'm trying not to vary the colors too much. I'm trying to stay in the range of reds, oranges, blues. They mix interestingly. Obviously, you can see that this is very different because this is a very cold color, and this is, and well, obviously a little darker, and this is very warm and a little lighter. Well, going lighter, so it's kind of cutting the ice here. I'm gonna think of something. Um, then I thought maybe I should do it like in layers, like grass is like how I did it here with the mountains. Well, the middle ground. I went into small layers like so to kind of show there is a difference in the topology of the ground. Not sure if I managed it too well or not, but it does looks nice. Now I'm just experimenting with this type of grass here to see if it fits. But I'm not entirely sure yet. Hmm. It does look interesting, but I feel it kind of puts too much weight on this side. So I'm not 100% sure if I want to keep it or not. Maybe I'll add a few more patches to see how it goes, but it's not bad. I just played with different colors. I took these colors from this one and this one from the top. So it looks like it's above the ground in a way. I can add more gradients to even blend it better, but I think that's overkill at this point. Going into minute details, every time you zoom in, I don't know, maybe I should disable some of the anti-aliasing and whatever just to make it a bit easier to go around. But yeah, it's adding a lot of new nodes, of new vertices, so it's complicated. Now, I tried to go into, I don't know, I tried to make a short difference between the land and the river here. So clearly you can't, here it's okay because it's very far away, we don't even notice it, you know. Although I can still do some interesting things here, but I said I'm gonna keep it as simple as possible because I noticed something. The more details we add, the more we try to squint in the foreground. So I thought maybe I should keep this shapes a bit loose and simplified, so it's easier for the eye to just go in and watch the rest of the view, and keep the more pronunciated details around the forest, maybe on the mountains, maybe on the clouds. And this part is like, because you see, I've added this very blurred surface here. Well, piece of land or whatever. It's like we're sitting on a hill a little bit above the river, and the river can just go left or right. It doesn't matter here. We don't know where it comes from either. Here it can come from left or right. Maybe it comes from the left. We don't know. But the point is that we're just chilling on the grass, watching the sunset and taking it all in, you know, like we're seeing all of these things in the distance. And maybe this is still a bit deceiving, but the point is the bigger trees are so blended in. Maybe I could do some things, but mm. I don't want to add too many details I mean, not too many details. How should I make it better? More clearer. I don't want to add too many spikes and too many things overlapping that it confuses the eye. I want to keep it fluid, so it kind of merges into one another. You see here, I try to keep consistency between these lines, these waves. So it looks good to the eye. It doesn't feel out of place. It doesn't feel like you can't make out the details, like how I did it here. I kept this one in the background. I could have removed it altogether because it doesn't add too much. But then I thought it does help with the way the branches are going, and a little bit of darkness here can differentiate these colors, can keep the contrast. Maybe you can even make this darker to not lose sight of it. But then again, I thought, I, for me, it looks just nice. Maybe it's my screen, I don't know. Here, though, this is not a reflection. I'm thinking of adding some stones here or something. I'm not entirely sure yet. I'm just playing with the concept. And I will definitely need to add. Maybe I'll make it a bit longer, like so. Looks a bit better. I don't know. Still experimenting with this one. I would clearly need to add different shades on it. I'll make it a clip and see what I can add on it. Now, I didn't add the mountains or any of the forest or anything like that in the reflection, and mainly I wanted right now to keep it as simple as possible. But I am contemplating it. But the thing is, the more we add, the difficult it will be for me to work because it's too many vertices afterwards. So maybe I'll add the reflection things at the end of the composition. I'm still thinking of maybe adding some simulation of waves. That makes sense. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I have some ideas, but we shall see. Now this sure looks really nice. It blends in with our background here, foreground, sorry, that we're sitting on. Now this land part, I thought it would be more, because right now these are kind of like the hills transitioning into the forest and then into the mountain range and so on. So I thought maybe this should be more groundish in nature, and then we can kind of get an idea that this transition is more from earth terrain into more rocky terrain. I don't know, it felt kind of okay. Mm, this one I might add a few extra details here. It looks a bit weird. I also made a bit of blurriness and added some gradients here to give it that 3D-ish look, to feel like the sun is really falling on it. I could have made like if I give I made linear gradients. I could have gone with radial gradients, but I thought that's just too much mishmashing. I kind of like this. I don't know. It looks nice, but I'm not entirely sure. Although I might scratch it for now and come for it later because I want to focus more on the details here. And the foreground is. If I add too many things on the foreground too early, I might neglect the background too much, and then it will be more difficult to add the details there. So for now, have a wonderful night, little grassy. Did I stuck it? Oh, why can't I delete it? It's not deleting. What the hell? Grass? Hmm, that's an interesting thing. Okay, never mind. It was sleeping. What's this other big tree? That looks interesting. But I mean, it adds too much. It's too heavy. I'll just keep it like this. Um. Oh, and I did something with radial gradients, but it's a very subtle thing. Let me just to exemplify how good it is to keep everything in order. So we want the horizon blend. So if I look here, you'll see I've used this radial thing, and it's a very subtle. It goes from 25 to 30. Oh, and this one also shifts a little. Let's see if I did the same here. I can't remember. So this, well, not everywhere, but yeah, I only played with a few values. But these values are very subtle in nature. Also, I made it like in order to squeeze this effect, this radial effect, we can see it over here. I had to add an extra point. Otherwise, it's too diffuse and you won't see the gradient going. So I thought it would be more like this circular pattern of the sun, where since it's going from this kind of valley, it's going to hit on this section like so, and then everything is gonna go into a bit of shadow gradiently. Of course, I could have added even more gradient shadow here, but again, simplification. Let the brain complete the rest of the composition on its own. So again, I'm not trying to focus too much here. I will focus more on the top side because that's where we want to add more details because of the simplicity of the gradient here. And I have some ideas, but it needs a lot of experimentation. Believe it or not, it's quite difficult to keep things fluid. It's not the details as much as it's the general shapes that you want to keep them looking consistent, and I don't know. looking nice with one another, playing nice. Ah, difficult things. Maybe I'll add. I'm having an idea. Did I add a gradient here? Oops. Where is it? Mountains. I did not. Well, let's try a gradient. I'm quite curious. Let's go. Huh. No, that doesn't look too shabby. But I'm thinking, what if we go more towards the orange? Oh, we only want this. Orange. Give it more saturation. What am I doing? I don't know. Hmm. Okay, so we want this color. And what if I want to shift it like so? And a bit like so. Maybe more? That looks delicious. Maybe it's a bit too strong, but let's try to go with a 55. No, 53. And that looks a bit better. It gives the impression of a bit of a mist, but it complements so well with the orange here. Yeah, I like that. Obviously, we'll have to add more details and gradients to these things. But it's starting to look like something. I really dig this color. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it as it is. Huh? See? You guys are helping me get inspired. So yeah, I'm gonna play around because this playing around takes hours. Sometimes I work 10 minutes, I take a break of 15 minutes, watch videos, I come back, I work 10 more minutes, I listen to music. I just push a little bit of a corner here, a circle there, a line in another side, and so on. And it's a slow process, I'm not gonna lie. But I'm just like, I'm not doing it in a lazy mode, but I'm doing it in a chill mode. Uh, Foreground foliage. I don't really dig how this one looks like here. Feels a bit flattish. Hmm. Maybe I'll add a few extra details here later. Just so it doesn't look so strong. Well, I don't know. Maybe. Kind of wanted to give this impression that the light escapes a bit here in the background and it continues into this. I don't know. Maybe I'll lower it to 16. No, it looked good. What if I push it more into well, that's too much. 25? 23. Nah. Okay. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just playing around, doing my who knows what I'm doing. Hope you guys enjoy the composition so far. Uh, Highly encourage you to always experiment and do naughty things that look maybe even out of place, but if they feel right to you, do it. Who knows? Maybe other people will enjoy it as much as you do. Stay awesome, guys. I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye 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 bye.